In our last Mish-Mash video, I asked everybody for ideas on how to straighten out the back to this television that had been caught up in the flood, and you can see it's bowed. Well, I got a lot of good ideas, which I pretty much had decided on myself, but I still wanted to know if there might have been an easier way. You know, it's always good to get second, third, and fourth opinions sometimes. I figured water was going to be the answer. Now, in order to do this, I want this thing flat on the floor. I wanted to remove this plastic CRT neck cover protector, but I can't get it out without, it'll probably break. It's pretty brittle, and I'd have to take the screwdriver and get down in there and give a little pry out to get it past this lip of this masonite, but I can't do it. I can't bend it far enough. I mean, there's a really big lip there. Leave it where it's at. We'll just have to go with it intact. Now here, I want this out. This has got to come out. This is going to be raising it up off the floor too far. Once we lay it flat and wet it and put the weights on it. Well, how do you get it out? For those who don't know, let's take a look and see. You'll see right here there's a little lip on the left-hand side. That lip has to be pressed down in order to clear it from the masonite. And once it's down, this thing here should shift to the left far enough to where we can twist it, you know, push it on through, twist it, and pull it out. Let me see if I can take a little screwdriver or a pair of needle nose pliers or something and push down on that to where it'll clear. I couldn't get it from the other side. The metal is really springy, really tough. I mean, it's not a thin, cheap type of metal that'll bend easy. So I've got my duckbill pliers. Again, the old duckbill pliers come into play. And I've got it down through here and underneath that lip right there. Now, this particular one of the jaws, I got it all the way down underneath that lip right there. Let me see if I can go in there a little closer to show you what I'm talking about. Not much light in here today, but so what I'm going to do now is kind of pry downward on the pliers like this, like so, and then try to squeeze that thing up enough where it'll help make the clearance. I'm having to switch to a wider screwdriver blade, so the other one was just too narrow. It was only lifting up the center of that thing down there. The wider screwdriver blade should lift it all up. Well, that didn't work either. So what do we do now? Oh man, I don't want, I could continue to bend and twist and pry and everything. We wind up ruining this metal thing. We don't want to do that. We don't want to damage it. So what do we do now? Well, there is one other solution. We take a pair of pliers. Now, I noticed some of you are saying, oh yeah, finally John, you caught on. Well, I was trying a different way. We take our pair of pliers and we kind of squeeze on each side of this thing, this plug here, not too hard. You don't want to mash the round metal cylinders on the inside of it, the plug cylinders. Kind of push down, because these are little, this thing is over the top. Maybe I guess let you see it a little better right here. You see where the metal, this rubber is actually over the top of the metal, keeping it from the plug from going back out. But if I gently squeeze on both sides and kind of push the rubber in a little bit, it might go back through the other way. Let's see if that's going to work. Well, so far so good. It worked like a charm. Now all I gotta do is feed all this back down through and see if this plug will also fit through the hole. Well, no, it does not. This is getting hairier by the minute. I can make a whole video out of just this one stupid plug removal. Let me skull brain it a little bit more. Well, I got a really brilliant idea. I thought maybe if I took this screwdriver blade and kind of put it right down in here where it's separated right there. Maybe if I took the screwdriver blade and kind of put it down in there like so, and then kind of gave it a twist, it would open it up, separate those two metal pieces to where this thing would drop through. Well, let me see how that works. Let me get the screwdriver in there. We'll look at it together. Alright, are you ready? Nope, that didn't do it either. More skull braining. Okay guys, we're going to have to face facts here. What's going to happen is just what I thought in the very beginning. This little tab that's banging against the edge of the masonite is going to have to be lifted up. See that space right there? The entire thing will go this way, which will clear these tabs, and the whole thing will drop down through the front. It is my responsibility to make that happen. And now for our next exciting episode of Mystery Solver. I'm going to lift up with this. I'm going to lift up with this until that tab clears. Then I'm going to take this, I'm going to move it that way, which will move the metal piece this way. Hopefully that'll work. Success at last. I am invincible. Okay, let's get this thing on the floor. Now there was a little bit of scarring to the masonite, but that stuff is soft from the water. I found that out. Just didn't take much to just put a dent in it. See how flaky it is? Boy, I'll tell you what, straightening this thing out is going to have to be a delicate procedure. Here's the master plan. I've got a 2x4 on each side to help us. I'm going to take a sprayer I have over here. I've got water in it. And we are going to spray along this area here down through the center a little bit on both sides. I'm going to be careful of this label. And we'll do it around the label and just spray both sides without soaking it immensely. Put the boards on the top at each end. And then take these cement things that I have down here, these one by ones. We're going to lay them on there until tomorrow. The concrete floor is the smoothest and flattest place I have around here to do this job. So let's see if I can't wet this down a little bit. Right in here is where your bend is actually on both sides. Go ahead and try to do that. A little bit around here like so. I don't really want to soak it down completely, but it's got to have some water on it. Alright, let's turn it over the other way, soak it, and then flip it back and put the weights on it. Well, there it is, folks, all the way around the edge. Nothing in the middle yet. I may have to wind up putting something in the middle later, but if this doesn't work, I will disavow any knowledge of my actions. Well, with wifey still down, I decided to cook a peach, apple, and pear cobbler today using Betty Crocker's super moist white cake with brown sugar topping. Just came out of the oven. It's going to have to cool down for a while. We'll, of course, have a little ice cream on that later. Let's see if we can't dip some of this out. Apple, peach, and pear combination. Ooh, it sure smells good. With that white cake. Give Grandma some of that fruit there. Boy, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to put the ice cream on there. It's going to taste even better. Well, there we go. You know, since retiring, I've been counting my calories. Counting on them being there every day, you know what I'm saying? And who is this little critter down there wanting some of my cobbler? You think you could eat a little bit of cobbler? Well, we'll find out. Yeah, old Mac likes it. He said, man, that's some pretty yummy stuff. I love seeing this little feller get a treat now and then. Normally it's just, you know, little tiny treats, but every once in a while we give him a little bit of extra like this. And then, of course, he never gets enough. Never. It's been 24 hours since we weighted down our warped TV back. So what I'm going to do is nice and warm in this garage. I'm going to go ahead and give it another 24 hours. We'll take everything off tomorrow. A little note for the ladies out there. I just saw, you know, this frying pan has been being advertised on TV. I don't usually buy anything that's advertised on TV. But this thing really intrigued me because I do, you know, quite a bit of cooking. I was in Walgreens the other day and they had, now the one on TV is advertised, I think it's 9.5 inches. They had the same pan on at Walgreens for like $9. So I said, well, I'm going to give this a try. I'll tell you what, this is the greatest. This is the best frying pan I've ever seen. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it does exactly what they advertised it to do on TV. Good deal. Pick one up for small stuff, you know, eggs, bacon, that sort of thing. Well worth it, you know, well worth the money. Folks, it is time for the grand review. This thing's been sitting here now for 48 hours or more. I'm going to go ahead and remove everything, push it off to the side, and I'll come back and show you what the results were. Well, son of a gun, look at there. flat as a pancake. That worked out really well. You know, one of our subscribers said, you know, John, when you spray the water, you know, be careful because, you know, you're actually affecting both sides when you try to straighten it. You know, one side will stretch, the other side's got to be kind of scrunched in. It could crack. I understood all that. And he said, you know, you should put like strips of water. And then, you know, easy does it. But unfortunately, as soon as I hit this thing with water, it began to soak it up everywhere. So that idea went out the window real quick. Anyway, you'll remember when I did that, what happened. Anyway, I put it on as light as I could, top and bottom, and you can see the results. So for everybody that gave me the idea to use water, which I pretty much had the idea we would have to do, I do appreciate it, guys. I really do. Let's stand it up and see how straight it actually is. And to tell you the honest truth, I'm not going to just take it up and set it somewhere. I'm going to leave some boards on it for another couple days. It's not in the way. I want to make sure this thing, I don't know how many times I could go about straightening this thing before it would finally be broken. Well, that looks really good. I think that looks really fine. That's going to be plenty straight. It's got a slight bow in it, but that's just normal for this much masonite. The actual bow is gone. However, I'm going to go ahead and lay a couple of boards on it and just leave it there. I got a lot of wimps out there telling me they can't handle sardines. Well, today I've decided, well, how about kippered snacks? Now, kippered snacks are real good. They are actually, they're herring. They're kippered herring. They're fillets. I'm going to have a little bit of corn chips to go with it and a couple slices of extra sharp cheddar cheese. Now there's a man's meal. I think what I better do before I munch down on this great stuff is put a little bit of this Tennessee Sunshine. I decided to buy some of this the other day to see how it tasted. It's pretty good stuff. I'm a big Cholula fan though, but then I'll tell you what, I bet that'll taste really good on there. Time to munch. I'll tell you what, let's see if our old buddy Mac likes kipper snacks. I'll bet he does. Oh, God, that dog gets tougher every day. Here's a photograph of what I call the 4 Musketeers rather than 3. On the extreme right is our youngest grandson, John. On the extreme left is Nathaniel, his buddy. And they're both instructors at the same karate school. They've been, you know, karate partners and trainers and teachers and instructors for years. The 2 in the middle, on the left is Zach, and on the right is Hunter. All 4 of these guys hang around all the time. Wherever you see one, you're pretty much going to see all 4. And sometimes they'll get together at one of the homes of one of the boys. They all have their girlfriends and stuff like that, but once in a while they'll get together and do some good, what I call good, clean, fun stuff. They're very sharp kids. And one night, not too long ago, they had a hot dog eating contest, but it was a gross hot dog eating contest. How much junk can you put on a hot dog and still eat it? You know, well, John, of course, he's smart enough to get behind the camera. You know, that left Zach, Hunter, and Nathaniel to actually do the hot dog eating.
Is that right? Just these are all edible.
Okay, whoever does this first, I'll give it to him.
What is that?
It's Jello. Wait, no, is that aloe?
You have to swallow it. You have to swallow it. Oh. Hey, drink your water. Drink some water.
It's so gross. There's something in this.
It's spicy.
Spicy? Is it spicy, Zach?
Nathaniel, go.
Okay, take a bite.
Dude, I don't want to.
No, you have to stay down. You have to do that. I need to get...
I just need something to clean this hand so I can do something.
Did you throw up?
Whoever takes the biggest bite.
Whoever takes the biggest bite.
Now you.
Yeah.
Just drink water. How is he doing that?
Water.
I did it.
Is it really?
I did it. Nathaniel.
All right, Nathaniel has officially won the challenge. I'm gonna give him a hand. He wins.
Okay, John, where are we and why are we here? Today is what, the 29th?
Yes.
I think
the 30th.
30th of September. I'm always a day off. My watch is always a day off. Where are we and why are we here?
We're in Mesquite, Texas, and we're here for a tournament.
What kind of tournament?
Taekwondo tournament.
And you're gonna win the sparring, aren't you?
Yes.
I mean, are you really confident you're gonna win that sparring?
very
You're gonna kick that butt, ain't you? Now you just came back from Indianapolis, Indiana, a couple of weeks ago for a tournament up there. And how did you do in sparring there?
Yeah, first.
First place. How many did you defeat?
5.
5. That's right. You're gonna do the same thing here today, right?
Yes.
Good luck. Good luck. All the rest, we'll just take them as they come, right?
Right.
All right. Good luck, boy. They give higher points for first, second, and third at this type of tournament. And right now, John is second in the world for sparring of his age group. If he can win here today at sparring again, he'll be number 1 in the entire world. I think that's pretty cool. Of course, after that, he has to hang on to it. So we'll report on the rest of this in the next Mish-Mash video. Until next time, this is John.